Hey everyone, it is late at night and I am Norman. Today is the 19th day of my 30 dress watches in 30 days challenge. And tonight we're looking at a watch that I own. It happens to be a very affordable piece and amazing looking. The Henry London. Yes, look at that dial. This is actually a piece that one of you brought to my attention, and at the time that I purchased it, it was super affordable on the UK's version of Amazon. They were doing some kind of a sale, and if I remember correctly, this piece was only $40. In the United States, it was around $100, so even then it's pretty affordable, but how are you going to say no to $40? Especially when it looks like this, and it is available in vintage proportions. So let's take a close look at this watch, and I'll show you what it's like when it's on the wrist. Here is the Henry London. See if I can get that dial texture. There you go. Look at that. It's a two-hander quartz piece, which is brilliant. However, at the moment, the battery is dead. I haven't had a chance to replace it just yet. I'll have to do that soon. It has kind of a flying saucer case. It's somewhat vintage style, very classy. And I mean, this was $40. If you can find a deal on it. Otherwise, it's about $100. That is so cool when brands put out two-handers when their watches are quartz. And this watch is 34 millimeters. So it has vintage proportions, vintage sensibilities. Yes. This is one of the few watches that I've kept on its original strap. Partly because it's so narrow. I think this is a 16 millimeter strap. And partly because it's actually really decent. That is so crazy. An at most $100 watch with a supple leather strap. It doesn't feel like cardboard. This feels like $30, $40, $50 straps that I've purchased. I love the batten markers on this and the texture on the dial. The hands are great. They're slightly tapered, so they're not just straight pencil hands or stick hands. And I always find it kind of crazy when the case rises up in the back so much that you have the tube here where the crown comes out. The entire back of the watch is mirrored. It's not overly thick. It has a slightly boxed crystal. And if I remember right, it's mineral, which makes sense at this price point. It's a light watch, which is okay because it's dressy, but extremely light. The lugs are vintage style and kind of angled down, so it hugs the wrist pretty well. This is just such a great looking watch. I'm so glad that one of you pointed this out to me. I had never encountered these pieces before, or this brand. It was totally new to me. Tonight I'm wearing my Projects watch. This dial is pretty much an exact replica of a painting. And I'll have to link to the review of this watch. This piece is definitely an eye-catcher. Let me take this off and I'll show you what it's like when you're wearing the Henry London. And here is the Henry London on my 7-inch wrist. My wrist is 55 millimeters wide, and you can see that this wears pretty well for a 34 millimeter watch. If you're used to contemporary sizes, this will definitely be too small for you, but it looks just fine, in my opinion. If you're gonna get a super affordable dress watch, I feel like you just can't go wrong with this piece. It doesn't come off as cheap or garbage at all. I mean, it's really light. That might be the only thing that hints at it being inexpensive, but being a dress watch, that's not uncommon. I've owned some really cheap watches, and oftentimes you could tell, but with this piece, not at all. Oh, and it just looks so great. The Henry London. There you have it, my Henry London watch. I really need to get a battery for it so I can wear it again, because it looks amazing. Thanks for watching.